Okay, so I'm getting ready to cut out my first Google Cardboard. I printed it all out and then taped it to this board. I just wanted to give a couple tips to help anybody else out there that might be wanting to do this. So the first thing is laying out your Google Cardboard. One of the things that I did is, probably a lot of people will start with the outside of the box. This is an Amazon box that I got in the mail. But what people will probably do is take their piece and just overlay it on a flat piece of cardboard, right? But if you have a box, you can actually use some of the folds that come with the box. So for instance here, there's no seam on this side of the box, okay? So what you can do is, where there's a fold, like there, you can take that fold and place it on here, and now you've already got the start of a bend, okay? So that'll be one less bend that you have to do. When you have it laid out, then you just cut a big hole, so you can see where I've laid mine out, but you have to have it inversed so that everything folds inward. Once you get the general piece laid out, let's see, so this is this board came from, let's see if I can piece it together here. So this board was in here, doing this with one hand, so I apologize. So that was like that, and I took my piece of paper that I printed out, cut it out, taped it all together, and then I laid out some of the pieces here. So you can see that this is part of that, I think going something like that. Okay, I have this going down there, and then my other pieces, and then I just cut around like that, and then I taped it on the inside. Okay, the next thing that I did is, some people might be excited to start cutting this out and getting it laid out, but if you tape it all down to the board and then you start cutting out the inside pieces, then the rest of the sheet won't move if you cut out the inside pieces first. Then what you can do is just go around the outside and just start cutting once you get all those inside cuts done. Another tip that you can do is take another box that you have, and instead of cutting on something flat and hard, an easier way to cut is, you want to make sure you have an X-acto knife, and not just an X-acto knife, but you want to have one that is brand new. You want to have the sharpest cut you can. It's going to make your life so much easier, and you won't get a lot of ragged cuts. You can see the cuts that I have here, if it will actually focus for me. There we go. So you can see the cuts that I have there. There we go. Are all nice and sharp. Okay, you get a brand new X-acto knife, or an X-acto blade, and it will cut so much nicer for you. The other tip that I have, is the box. So by cutting on a box, you aren't cutting onto a hard surface. So if I were to make this incision here, you just start at a corner, and I'm just applying pressure. I'm applying pressure straight down here, so I can go all the way through. I can go all the way through and pull out. Okay, so I'm just making tiny pushes. I'm not trying to drag the whole thing out. Let's get a little light on the subject here. There we go. Okay, so I'm not trying to drag it all the way down. I'm just pulling it out and then pushing it down and letting the blade do the cutting. Okay. The other thing too is that as you get to the end, don't try and push all the way through, or you're going to end up cutting through, because as I push down, you can see the angle of this blade is angled. So if I try to get into this corner, as I push down, it's going to start cutting into this part of the board. So I could either angle the blade so the blade goes down straight, but then I'm not cutting forward. So a way around that is just flip it around, start at the corner like that, and again just start to push. You can see then I go right through and it meets up with the other one. So if I do the same thing over here and just drag it down, a little harder with one hand here. Okay, and then I get close to the other edge, turn it around, and so if I go to the other side here and I push, I meet up with the other one, and then I can do this side, do the next side, do here, flip it over, and cut there. Now when I flip it over, I can see what else still needs to be done here. So I can straighten that out. And again, a little bit easier with two hands, but so you pop it out. And I kind of took that out, but there it is. Okay, so if you do that with everything, take your time, and it should be good. Good luck.